Hey you saw your cousin, and you plan to do a Sweet Home Alabama. Well, don't worry, my friend. I'm here to stop you for your sake. My name is Monium Zalviek, and today's topic is the incest. So first we have to clear one misconception that can happen, confusing incest and incels, because the words are really similar. So in short, incels are an involuntary celibate, or in much simply they got no bitches, because they treat them like objects. So it is pretty clear, right? Now what are the incest? Well, according to our good friend the dictionary, an incest is a person who is engaging in an intercourse with their relatives. It is disgusting. Probably, but I saw some things in my life. But this is not the reason I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the problems that causes, and talk about some real-life examples of incest relationships and how they turned out. So you probably know the incest in another name, which is inbreeding. You hear this in terms of animals. Take a look at the white tigers. They are inbred because there is not much of them, and this results in defects like blindness and deafness. Look, this is not what a tiger should look like, but we can say,
they must do it, since there are no white tigers in the wilds.
But look at one of the most inbred dog species, the pug. If we look at pictures and paintings of pigs, you see them. They look like most dogs with a bit shorter faces, and now look at this face.
It isn't pure agony.
You can't deny the difference. Don't try it. And pigs have a lot of health problems like respiratory issues or eye problems. But why they are actively inbreeding, you may ask. And the answer is simple. Breeders, when they find a quality they like, they breed them with relatives to make that trait much more prominent. And look the result. They clearly descendants of the wolves bred for a reason, right? Many breeds are the same. Just look at some then, and now pictures. But why am I talking about this? Well, they are bad in animals, so how does it affect humans? Well, the most known examples are probably the Habsburgs. The Habsburgs, in order to keep their heritage to themselves, started to intermarry, which lead to inbreeding, and over the generations they developed the famous Habsburg jaw, which actual name is mandibular prognathism. But it doesn't mean every person is inbred who has a jaw like that. Take a look at Charles too. Look at that face. Do you think he looks like this because he is normal? But being ugly was not the only problem. Charles 2.0 was mentally retarded, had an enlarged tongue, possible growth problems, and he was also impotent because of the inbreeding. Just look at this family tree. You can't even call this a tree. And this is what led to their downfalls, because Charles didn't have children, which means he didn't have an heir. Now, your answer could be,
this was way back. Nowadays there is no such thing.
You think? Let's see more modern examples. Charles Darwin, who invented the theory of evolution, married his first cousin Emma Wedgwood. They had 10 children. 7 survived. Albert Einstein, who devised the theory of relativity, married his cousin Elsa Einstein. Lowenthal was his ex-husband's name. Their mothers were sisters, and their fathers were cousins. But you get the point. And also the meme herself, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip were third cousins, which is not that bad comparing them to the previous examples. Queen Victoria was their great-great-grandmother. But I think the most interesting is the blue Fugates. The blue Fugates were people whose skin were blue. The story goes as French orphan Martin Fugate married an American woman named Elizabeth Smith. Both of them had the recessive gene for the blood disorder called methemoglobinemia. In this disease, the hemoglobin is unable to release oxygen, and that is why cyanosis, which is the fancy word of blue skin, happens. The Fugates had 7 children, and they lived in isolation, with mostly Elizabeth relatives being close by, which lead to interbreeding, and the blue skin become more prominent, and as they left their home, less and less blue-skinned babies born. The last blue-skinned baby was Benjamin Stacy, who born in 1975, but he lost it within a few weeks after his birth. So it's true it is less likely to happen now, but these examples are not too far. But why is it bad? You saw Charles too. It can lead to deformities, mental and health problems. It is considered unethical because it leads to deformed children, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe the thought they related. But what does the law say? Look at this chart. This shows that everything above 25% is illegal, and first cousins are usually the ones which varies over countries, even states. Everything below, like second cousins, are not prohibited, because the genes varies enough. And this is why the queen children are okay. This is my quick summary about the incest, and now you know too. And don't forget, if your sister yells she's stuck somewhere, think about your child being Charles too.